Are you a skinny guy trying to build a muscle? Maybe you don't like how clothes fit you, even if you wear the smallest of shirts. Look, I've been there myself. I was a skinny guy. And the reason, frankly, I started bodybuilding was because I was insecure with how I felt. 10 plus years later, I've discovered secrets of how to build a muscle from a skinny guy to a muscular guy. And in this video today, I'm going to show you how I did it so that you can do it too. It's going to be a fun one. Let's get right to it. On the number one step that you need to be aware of to take before you start any bodybuilding program, you have to set a goal. Many of the times when I ask people, hey, what do you want to achieve with your physique? They most often give me generic answers like, hey, I want to build muscle, I want to burn fat. Yes, that's good for a start. But you have to be specific with your goals. What do I mean by this? Let's say, for example, you just type in your GPS and say, I want to just go to New York, right? New York is big, but unless you specify which part of New York you're going to end up nowhere. Same thing in muscle building. You have to be specific how you want to look like, how much muscle you want to gain. Exactly. For example, go to your Instagram. Look at your influencers, those people who look like you. Say, you know what, if I had the capability, I'd like to look like that. Now, you are actually obtaining a vision exactly and being specific with where you want to go. Why is this important? I'll explain why. There are days that you don't feel like going to the gym, right? I have gone to the same time, and that's important. That's normal. Now, these are the time that you go back and reflect back to when you started, back to when your goals. This will give you fire. This will get you fired up to get back and go to the gym. Because listen, there are going to be days you don't feel like going to the gym. Now, discipline is important. Discipline is doing something even while the motivation while you started is gone. So this builds consistency. Now, I want you to see the whole cycle here. You have the goal, which acts like a bait, okay? This will develop discipline, okay, and direction to where you're going. And this will bring habits. Now, these habits will breed results. As a matter of fact, you are a product of what you've been thinking about all day. How you've been thinking about, you acted it out, and that's where you are right now. So this will be more of a mental transformation. First, before you begin any bodybuilding program. Many of the times I see people, they skip this step. And if you skip these steps, like many people, you will fail. So, number one step, you have to be specific with your goal. Exactly how you want to look like. You have to be specific. Now that we understand the importance of goal setting, let's go over to how exactly muscles grow. Muscles grow in two steps. Number one, resistant training to trigger muscle growth. And number two, sufficient nutrients to recover and build muscle. Now I'll go with the step by step. We'll talk about nutrition later, but let's talk about training. Many of the times when people go work out, you see, they aimlessly do numerous exercises. And especially if you're a beginner, you're not aware or knowledgeable on what exercises you should do to build muscle. And that's understandable. Well, when I started working out, I really wanted to improve my arm size. And so I'll do arms every day. And so I realized this is the imperfect thing to do, because one day I went to visit one of my cousins, and it was about 2 years I've been training. And I always reasoned, I never did any other workouts. I never did legs or anything. In fact, I reasoned to myself, you know what? I'll always wear pants to cover my legs. That was my justification. So one day I was visiting my cousin, and she told me, you look great. You look great, but if you did legs, you'll be impressive. I was like, what? I was taken aback. I mean, how could she see? Because all along I've been thinking that you could not see my legs when I wear pants. So from then on, leg day became part of my routine. And funny thing is, immediately I started doing legs, the rest of my body grew in unison. And this is very interesting. This brings me to a very important part about the kind of exercise you should be doing. These are called compound workouts. Compound workouts are exercises that work more than one muscle group at a time. This will be the squats, deadlift, and the bench press. The body will always want to be utilized in unison. It doesn't like to be separated in parts and be trained that way. So for you to build muscle, you need to target the biggest muscle group in your body. That's the back, your legs, and your chest. And to do that, you need to do exercises that target those muscles. The bench press, the deadlift, and the squats. Again, if you want to build maximum muscle, you have to concentrate on using compound workouts. 2, another question I often asked is, how much weight should you use? As a beginner, the number one thing you need to be aware of is your form before you think of putting more weight in the bar. Let's say, for example, you go to the gym and you want to do squats. We first will start with the bar alone. You want to properly warm up without increasing the weight. You'll use a method called pyramiding. Pyramiding is the process of gradually increasing the weight progressively, slowly. So you'll start with the weight on the bar alone. Then you'll put a little bit of weight in there, maybe 2.5 or 5 pounds. Mostly beginners, that's just perfect. Just a little bit of weight. And then a couple of reps, maybe 12, 15 reps. You don't want to go higher on the reps because the point is, if you go too high on the rep, it means the weight is too light, okay? Yes, I've signified the importance of training light for beginners. This should only be necessary when you're doing your first sets, okay? Then you'll do a couple of sets for 15 reps. Check your form in the mirror, see if you're moving correctly. If everything is all right, then you add more weight, 5 pounds, etc., etc. I will not encourage for a beginner to put so heavy weights the first time, because the number one thing a beginner should be concerned about is proper technique. Otherwise, if you're not conscious of your technique, you're exposing yourself in danger of inflicting injury. And that's the last thing you want. It will put you years, months away from the gym. So again, always start light, progressively increase the weight. Always aim for about 15 reps for a beginner. As you advance, of course, your reps will go down as you increase the weight. But for now, you want to put your reps in to get in that mobility reflection from your brain. You're trying to teach your brain new movement. Preliminary training days should be spent in perfecting exercises. Okay? Let's talk about rest period. How long should you rest between each set? This may vary. For example, let's go again back to our example of the squats. If you're starting with the bar alone, you don't need too much rest period after that first set to go into the next one. The rest period you need there is just enough time to go fix your weight and add in weight. Now, as you progressively go on your weight and increasing your weight, you'll find that you need more resting time. And this is important because you need to readjust yourself to get the necessary energy to push on for your next set. For example, on your first set, again, with the squats, you'll start with the bar alone, then there's no need to take longer rest period time. Go change the weight, come back again, do a couple of reps, maybe rest 10 seconds, change the weight again. The next set, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and so forth. But don't prolong the rest period again. Don't prolong the rest period, because the longer you prolong the rest period, then it's back, you're starting from zero. It's like thinking of you're driving a car. Right? When you're changing gears, you don't want to really wait for your next gear. The more you wait, it slows down and then you have to start all over again, if that makes sense. So you don't want to rest too much and not too little, but you want to time it consistently. Okay? You want to time your rest period according to each set you're doing. If you're starting light, you don't need rest time, and just going heavy, of course, your body will demand more resting time. Let's talk about mind-muscle connection. What is mind-muscle connection? Mind-muscle connection is the engagement. I call it the engagement of your whole self, your body, your spirit, and your mind in one. What do I mean? Many of the times when I go to the gym, okay, you'll be performing your sets, okay? I'll see guys performing their sets. And then during the sets, they'll be checking their phones or talking to their buddies at the gym, okay? This is a distraction, okay? You need to be aware of your training, which is very important in your training success. Because the disadvantage of not being aware of your training will be the end result of not having productive workouts. In order for you to have productive workouts, you have to maintain intensity. And you cannot maintain intensity when you're constantly getting distracted in your workouts. Okay. When you're taking time to rest, let's say, for example, you're going to your heavy sets, okay? That time of rest, I like to use it to think about, what weight am I going to use? Was my form correct? Should I repeat the weight? I'm having conversation with myself, okay? I'm engaging with myself in that training on what I'm doing. This is the secret of having productive training. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to be there, one body. Your mind, your body, and your soul and your spirit has to be in one place. Okay. Now, further to note this, let me give you a tip. This process doesn't start in the gym. This process starts before the gym. Okay. Before you go to the gym, you need to be there dreaming. You need to be obsessively, right, for better words, you need to be very obsessive about your training. You need to be thinking about, okay, today I'm going to be doing, like say, for example, you're doing the bench press. Okay, I'm doing this bench press. I'm going to be pressing this weight. Maybe you're analyzing the last week, how it went. Maybe my form last week was not correct. So this time, maybe I want to get my form right. Or I didn't get enough reps last time. I need to get these reps in. Okay, I'm going to the gym this time. You need to be aware. You need to be thinking about. Your journey going to the gym doesn't start when you go to the gym. You have to be aware of what you're going to the gym before you go to the gym. You have to have a program and then follow it. That's the true success. You to have that mind-muscle connection. Now, during your training, you need to be focused on, am I doing correct form? Is my moving all right? Okay, if I'm doing the squats, am I going parallel well? How am I feeling? Is the bar correct? Is the weight too heavy? These are the conversations going to yourself. Okay, if your form is correct, then you say, okay, I need to maintain this. These are the conversation. Is mind and muscle connection is the conversation you have with yourself during training, and it's important. All pro bodybuilders do this. Okay, all people who have great physiques do this, and this is what separates you from having an impressive physique and not an impressive physique. Having a proper, sound, effective mind-muscle connection. Now let's talk about DOMS, commonly known as delayed onset muscle soreness. What is this? It is the soreness you feel after you work out. And this is very common, especially if you're a beginner. It's common for you to feel soreness, especially if you've never gone to the gym. Many of the times people try to maneuver this by trying to recover, trying to, use antibiotics and other form of recovery. However, I really go against this, because trying to go by your own process to make your body recover from the soreness from the workouts actually limits the process of muscle growth. So you have to let your body go through that entire process. So don't limit the entire muscle. It will go on after a few days, I know it's unbearable, but after a few weeks during the gym, the soreness will be bearable and you'll be fine. So don't worry about it. Now let's talk about cardio. If you're a skinny guy, I understand that you have to be consuming more calories, or you have to be in a calorie surplus to gain muscle. Now, cardio is such a very important subject for skinny guys, because you want to limit your cardio, not entirely forsake it altogether, because it's important to take care of your heart. That's the important thing about cardio. Now, don't want to exceed and do such excessive cardio that you get in a calorie maintenance that you're not able to gain muscle. Now, I recommend, if you're a skinny guy, maintain about 150 maximum a week of cardio, because cardio is very important. You don't want to limit it together, because it will help you in the endurance when you're working out, but also it's good for your heart. Let's talk about nutrition, which is a very essential component in bodybuilding. Just like a vehicle, a perfect oiled vehicle will run well. So you need to oil your machinery, your body well. As a skinny guy, you need to add in calories for muscle growth. As a skinny guy, I'm not a big eater. As a matter of fact, I don't eat anything in the morning, only tea. I eat about around 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. That's when I have my first meal. Now, this may not be very conducive for somebody who wants to gain muscle, but I'll show you my exact process, especially if you're a skinny guy. Most likely, maybe you're not a big eater, or you are a big eater, but you're a skinny fat. I'm going to show you exactly how to program your meals exactly so that you can add in lean muscle. Now, what you want to do is take account of about 3 days of exactly what you eat. You can take pictures, you can document them down. Don't change anything, okay? The reason behind this, we want to see exactly what you've been eating. Now, you want to eliminate anything that is sugary, anything that is unhealthy, anything that is processed, anything that is not going to make you... Listen, you are what you eat. So if you're going to eat baggage to build muscle, like for example, McDonald's, any fast foods, don't expect to build any substantial good muscle, because these are they're empty calories. You want to eat foods that are rich and healthy, foods that contain nutrients so that you can fuel your muscle growth process. What you want to do after 3 days of documenting your meals of exactly how you eat. Here's how you'll go about planning your meals. Divide your meals. In this example, maybe you're having 2 meals a day. Divide your 2 meals, making it 4 small-sized meal portions. Your meals should contain rich protein sources to build muscle. Protein sources like chicken breast, turkey, lean beef, and fish in your diet. Make sure to add in complex carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provide energy for your workouts and help replenish glycogen stores in your muscles. Opt for complex carbohydrates like whole grains, oats, rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, whole wheat bread, whole wheat pasta, and fruits. Now, healthy fats. Healthy fats are important for hormone production and overall health. Plus, they have higher caloric content than other macronutrients. Includes foods like avocado, nuts, and seeds, nut butter, peanut butter, almond butter, olive oil, and fatty fish in your diet. Vegetables and fruits provide essentials, vitamins and minerals, and antioxidants. Aim for a variety of colorful options to ensure you get a wide range of nutrients. Dairy or dairy alternatives, for example, milk, cheese, and yogurt, are good sources of protein and can help in muscle growth. If you are lactose intolerant or prefer non-dairy options, choose alternatives like almond milk, soy milk, or coconut milk, fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Dried foods like dates, raisins, and apricots are concentrated sources of calories and provide natural sugars, fiber, and macronutrients. They can be added to oatmeal, smoothies, or consumed as a snack. Now, as you're speaking about smoothies, when it comes to smoothies, which are of course a convenient source to add in calories, prepare calorie-dense smoothies or shakes by combining ingredients such as milk, protein powder, nut butter, fruits, oats, and yogurt for added calories. You want to continue increasing your calories as you're monitoring your progress. If you're gaining more fat than muscle, then you have to taper down your calories a little bit. But if you're on a maintenance, you feel okay and you're gaining lean muscle, then continue with that. I know I may have shared a lot, and I guarantee you, if you follow through the process of exactly to build a muscle, maintain your training program, your nutrition, all that I've said, you are guaranteed to make success. I did it. I went from a skinny guy to a muscular guy, and I've shown exactly the basic principle of how to do it. Not only me, I've helped other people do the same. Some of our clients are boasting of the same transformation with this kind of program that I'm showing you today. Now, it may be a lot for some of you. I may be asking you, maybe I need some help. If that's you, then you're on luck, because currently I'm accepting clients. So I'm going to show you exactly how to build a muscular, leaner, and attractive physique. I'll personally work one-on-one with you, get you the results you deserve. So go ahead, click the link in the description, and I'll see you on the other side. Talk soon. Peace.